Oh, hi. Hello there. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with If I Could Only Choose One Work by, well, in this case, Mendelssohn. It would have to be, in this case, the Violin Concerto in E minor. That's actually his second. The first is in D minor. It's an early work that most people don't care about, but it's really quite lovely. Look, we had a big chat about Mendelssohn and the commentary when this was coming up. A lot of you chose the octet, and I can really understand that because it is an absolute work of genius by a young prodigy. It's astonishingly great. It's marvelous and kind of unique, actually, in terms of what it is and how well it's realized. However, and there were some other things too, a couple quartets, a symphony, a something. A chamber work I can really understand because Mendelssohn was at his best in his chamber music. I think that the Violin Concerto, one of you really made a very, very powerful case for it because it's in a sense, the iconic romantic violin concerto. And it's the iconic romantic violin concerto in a new form that Mendelssohn invented, which was without that long orchestral tutti that introduces the soloist. It was a different kind of concerto, one where the violin leads off right away. The soloist leads off immediately because he also did the same thing in his piano concertos. And it became the model for all of the romantic piano, violin, whatever, romantic concerti that did not follow the Mozart / Beethoven / Brahms classical concerto form, which means most of them. Because the ones that we play now, you think Tchaikovsky's first piano concerto where the piano comes crashing in at the beginning. The Rachmaninoff concerti where the piano comes in at the beginning. You think Schumann's concerto. Mendelssohn was the model. He really was. And this concerto is as perfectly written and superbly melodic and passionately expressive and gorgeous as anything anybody wrote. I mean, it's astonishing. It has no weak links. It has no dead spots. I mean, can you imagine? You can hum every single tune in it. Da 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 do 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 do, and then the slow, the second subject, ba da 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 dum ba da do 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 ba do, and the slow movement. Oh my God, da 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 do. I mean, and the finale. It's incredible. I mean, it gets into your head and you can't get it out. It's that thrilling. And I think that we know it so well, it's so familiar that we tend to undervalue it. And violinists today, they just toss it off like it doesn't mean anything, which is a shame because, we think of Mendelssohn as someone who's kind of like reserved or whatever. But remember, the opening movement is marked like Allegro appassionato. It's a very passionate, exciting, expressive masterpiece. And it's a wonderful indicator of what was going to happen later. So if Kankrasans decides to dump all those other concertos, at least we'll have this one, which, sort of packs it all up in a single package. But beyond the fact that we're all under the gun because the god Kankrasans has decreed that all classical music will disappear, except for one work by every composer because he hates the universe of classical music. I think that aside from that, it really does show everything that Mendelssohn can do. And in a wonderful way. First of all, there's the surmounting of technical difficulties because you cannot exaggerate how hard it is to write a violin concerto. I mean, really. They're very difficult to judge the orchestra and the solo and get the balance always right and never drown out the solo and never let the orchestra sound like it's being reined in unnecessarily. I mean, this just solves all those problems absolutely effortlessly. It's melodically, like I said, from his top drawer. It is formally perfect. You just can't criticize the thing. You absolutely can't. And so for that reason, and we don't have a lot of concertos in this list so far, by the way. We have very, very, very few. I mean, there will be others. For sure, there will be others. But at the moment, there aren't. And this initial list of pieces. You can see the whole list down below. And so I think it's important that we include a concerto, just to show Cancrozans how worthy the form is and how we would like to maintain our ability to hear billions of other concerti, of which there can be no better, I think, representative of the idiom than the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto. So there you go. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.